There is, however, odd and near universal agreement that ending Title 42 tomorrow or next week or next month or in 2024 will create chaos at the border, unlike anything we have ever seen. And in a moment of political oddity, the White House maybe even hopes the Supreme Court will keep them from fulfilling a campaign promise to end the Trump-era policy. But they can't admit that. Already, the Texas National Guard has deployed Humvees and razor wire to try and bring some control to the border in El Paso, where we've seen huge crowds cross. Ending Title 42 could bring 15,000 people or so a day across. That's a Major League Baseball stadium every 3 days. Just so we're clear on what Title 42 is, the Trump-era pandemic allowed Border Patrol to return roughly half of the 2 million plus people who came across from October to October of last year. Keep in mind, the current pace of crossings is about 7,000 a day, give or take. And even though the administration promised to end Title 42 because it was cruel and inhumane and Trumpian, now they admit that ending it's going to cause huge problems.
It is not an immigration policy. It is not an immigration policy that we would embrace.
We are required by court order to lift Title 42. That's December 21st, and we're going to comply with that order. But it is a court order. But that
started by you guys.
It was a court order that has been provided to us, and so now we have to comply, and that is we have to comply by December 21st. It is a law that has been put forth.
Support lifting Title 42?
What I'm saying that it is a court order.
We got that it's a court order, but the White House now says that even if the Supreme Court lets them end Title 42, they're not going to end it when they said they were going to, even though earlier this week they said they had a plan for ending Title 42 tomorrow. Go figure. However, think about it this way. Ending Title 42 goes over great with the progressive base. Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts, though, sided with red states who sued to keep Title 42 in place yesterday. Just a few minutes ago, the administration responded from the DOJ, filing the end of Title 42 will likely lead to a temporary increase in border crossings. The government is prepared to address that serious problem. Remember, just a couple of days ago, they said that they were still making plans. Now the administration is in a rather strange position of arguing to end something it would appear they would much prefer to keep going. In other words, they are caught between their progressive base and their policy desires versus the larger political and media reality of the coming craziness at the border. Bob Driscoll's here, former Deputy Assistant Attorney General. Bob, it's good to see you. How did I do summing that up?
You did great. I mean, it is as confusing as you made it seem. I moonlight as a law professor, and this entire case could be a law school exam.
Help us understand realistically, because the red states and the attorney generals admit that they have no legal argument to keep Title 42 in place. This is basically asking the courts to keep this stopgap immigration policy in place. How does that work, and how does it work for the administration to kind of argue we want this gone, but kind of not really, maybe sort of wink, wink, nudge, nudge?
Right. Well, it stems from a problem we're having is that in the last decades, the courts have issued lots of nationwide injunctions where one court can make a decision that an administrative policy of a given administration is either proper or improper and set it aside. And so initially in May, the Biden administration tried to repeal Title 42, the Trump era rules, and was enjoined from doing that by a court in Louisiana. Then subsequently in this case, they were litigating and they lost, and they said, all right, well, we won't appeal the order. We'll let Title 42 expire. And now they're saying, well, but don't let it expire right away. We need some extra time to do it. I think what this all has to do with, to go back to high school civics, is political accountability. Is the court, the administration wants to say the court made us do it to one side of the aisle. And then to their base, they're going to say, well, we ended up repealing it anyway. And so I think what happens is people don't want to take political responsibility for the policy they want.
Right. We kept hearing that at the podium today. It's a court order. It's a court order. It's a court order. We have to comply to it. Right. Even better if you can blame Trump judges for the court order.
Exactly. The Biden administration itself tried to repeal Title 42 in May. And Title 42, just to be clear, is not an immigration provision. Title 42 is a public health provision, which allows you to turn certain people away at the border at a time of public health crisis to protect the country from infectious diseases.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.